Okay. It's going to take just a moment here to get everything working just exactly right. Japanese cruisers won the vote. So that'll be the tech tree we're going over today. Yeah, just give me, I gotta get a couple things set up here and then we'll be ready to rock. And we will be going over a little Q&A that Wargaming just put out regarding upcoming features and stuff like that, so. Alright. One minute. Okay. Alright. Looks like I got everything working just exactly right. There it is. Okay. Sound art? Okay. So far we got Kaden, Jim O'Toole, J-Ski, Orion. What up? How's everyone doing today? We're going to go over the Japanese tech tree. That was the vote I put up earlier today. I do have a Q&A that I was going to go over quick. So there's a lot of interesting stuff in here. Let's see, what was interesting? So that someone asked, when can we expect crossplay to arrive? They're working on the feature, but the ETA is still when it's done. Can we expect larger maps? No plan to enlarge the maps, however there will be a couple more maps this year. Plus we're yet again going to modify the spawn, so that's interesting. About the Yamamoto, someone asked about the specifics. It says, essentially you will have to play for a bit to get to use her and then take her to battle. You won't be able to own her in 2019, but will be able to own her in 2020, so that's interesting. The event will help us understand how to implement her in the game permanently. In a word, this will be a streamlined testing event that'll allow you to have fun and grab some rewards and introduce her when the time comes. Is the Yamamoto going to be a nerf version? Fire and range will be shorter to remain in line with all the other battleships are implemented. Otherwise, she will be the most powerful ship in the game, bar none. Should be placed outside of existing Tier 7 tiers. That's also very interesting. Someone's asking about the John Bart, which I hadn't heard was announced, but apparently that is announced as a Tier 7 premium ship. And the French line will be introduced in the same manner that the Germans have, starting with the cruisers, and then the second one will be early access. And they haven't said yet which line that'll be yet. Are you continuing the British cruiser tech tree? Yes, they will, but it will be 2020. Any further details on rank battles? The system will be much like Rank Sprint on PC, with some customization items along the ladder, and a sweet rank number 1 or rank 1 flag. They'll make an article on rank battles once they're prepared for launch. About submarines, someone asked, and aircraft carriers. They say currently we're actually debating whether we want carriers in Legends, but if they're going to arrive, it won't be until the latter part of 2020. No plans for submarines yet. The Halloween event will be PvE, which I believe that's against robots. Clan features should arrive to the game within the next year, so that's interesting. Are we going to get permanent camo for all the tech tree ships? We're going to have more tiers and nations covered with permanent camos for sure, but it remains to be seen how high and low we'll go with the camos. And then they are continuing to address the battleship spawns for tiers 6 and 7, which is good. Will we ever get the full post-battle screen and port filter? Yes to both. These features are to appear in the game this year. And how to promote premium unique captains like Gurren, which he'll be available with the Russian tree, but Swirsky, for instance. As of right now, we're advising to use the universal accommodations if you want to promote them. Otherwise, there are going to be some changes to the commander system this year that should make promoting particular commanders easier. And the last question is, will we ever have other ways of unlocking commanders as, per se, purchase them with a substantial amount of commander XP doubloons? Yes. Yes, there will be other ways. We cannot disclose any details at the moment. So they're going to continue to work on the commander system. What's up, Jody, Jawad? How you doing? Michael Potter. The reality Bismarck will be out in a couple weeks. And before we get rolling, I do want to give a shout out. If you become a member, you get a shout out on the next stream. So last stream we had Stylo Vogel Berlin, who has an uncanny ability to load into games during the stream. And I wasn't able to pronounce his name during the stream last time, but I looked it up and it's Yevgeny, I believe. That's how you say it. So thank you very much for those of you who are members and support the channel. It's awesome. And thanks everyone for tuning in and watching. So, I think that was all the... Bodie, what's up? Still on the fence about the Graf Spee. We could, or Spee. Could probably check that out. Connell Clark, what's going on? We will be focusing on the Japanese cruisers primarily though, because there's a lot to get through. So we'll go over the commanders. If you got Togo, i.e. if you don't have any dedicated cruiser commanders, I would go with Burn It Down, probably Crisscross. You could Velocious. You could either do on second thought or increase the maximum speed. And you could either do range or steering. I would probably go steer clear. And you'd probably want to use fully packed, but Togo you don't want to necessarily use. The two cruiser commanders are both very strong in my opinion. You have Makawa, who, as the last time I used him, I had Swirsky and Norm Scott. I'd probably switch that out to Yamamoto or something else. I'll do some build videos on both these commanders at some point. But I did have him set up with Ingenious, which I think to be very nice. Full speed ahead, sponge, and steer clear. And you'd probably want to go with fully packed if you had him legendary. Yamamoto, I only have level 8. And I would probably put Makawa for the second inspiration, Norm Scott. This is a very nice base trait you could consider using on a lot of your different cruiser builds. Once I get my German cruisers leveled up a bit, I will be using Yamamoto as a secondary. And you can just go right down the line here. It's a pretty nice offensive build. There's Stylo. Yeah, Carlos. Yeah, they got a lot of improvements coming, so that's, it's nice to hear. A lot of pretty exciting things. Let's get that crate while I got it. You can see I ran on a premium time. I'm planning on using the 700 here, and then anything over 700 I'll probably just get German crates since I won't have enough to get the camo. But we'll jump right in it here. Well, what's your favorite cruiser? Well, this line in particular, I don't know. Well, I probably play the Mogami the most, but I think the Japanese cruiser line's pretty strong in particular. We'll try tier 1. I don't know if, depending on how many new players there are, there might not be enough trying to load in, but we'll see. And just a heads up for Sims level members, I will plan on doing the special video release on Saturday. I got a really busy week coming up starting tomorrow, but I think I'll have enough time to do that for you guys. So, we'll see. Tier 1's kind of like Tier 7 was about a week into the game, where there's usually not a lot of players loading into it. You only really have to play 1 or 2 battles to level up through the level 1, so if we do get into a game here, it'd be a mix of brand new players and hardcore seal clubbers, so just got the Graf, thing's a beast. Yeah, that ship is really good. How long am I playing today? We're gonna get through tiers 1 through 7 plus the Iwaki plus the Yubari, and we'll probably play a DeGrasse game, potentially a Turpitz. I've been getting some more feedback from the devs, and some of it's in the NDA section of the thing, so they're still looking at the data is all I can really say for that one. Yeah, DeGrasse is a very strong ship. It's alright, we got a 5v5. So this is kind of what you can expect. I don't know anything about this ship. It looks like an old-time boat with HE. Usually these tier 1 cruisers are extremely inaccurate. But we'll check it out, see how it runs. So that Jean Bart, I believe, is a French battleship, and it kind of sounds like from the wording that it was going to be a campaign reward ship. I know the Atago, which would have been part of this tech tree, had it already been released and unlocked. It's a tier 7 cruiser. From what I gather, that ship should be pretty strong, so I'm pretty excited about that one. Similar to the Mogami, but I think the torp firing angles are a lot more generous. So, what do we got here? What is this? Chikuma. I think that's how you say it. Yeah. Alright. Let's see if we can shoot this thing. Thank you. I will get out of the game chat so as to not annoy the heck out of everyone. Thanks for the heads up. I forget that about 90% of the time. Thank you, David, for pointing that out. You gotta go into a party, otherwise I just blather on, and these poor bastards have to listen to me. Weymouth. I think this is the British one. Does this guy have camo on this thing? Well, I guess you could put camo on any ship. Never see me using the Amagi. Oh, I play that ship all. That's probably my most played battleship. I mean, I don't play the IO a lot just because I'm stuck using Lee, which isn't really an optimal build on that guy. USN battleships came in the second, so I thought we were going to be doing that line for a brief moment today, but personally I'm glad you guys picked the IJN Cruiser, because it's a lot of fun. Alright, let's see what we got here. Doesn't seem like all my guns are going off. got 5 guns. Oh. Seems like only 3 or 4 shells are launching. I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing things.
The ship is on fire.
Magi's amazing. Yeah, I like that ship a lot. I did put Cunningham up to level 16 over the weekend. So that makes the grouping really tight. And we got a new member, Michael Potter. Thank you very much. Appreciate that a lot. It's, supports the channel quite a bit. It's a lot of stuff that costs money when you're producing content, and there's also a lot of ideas that I'd like to implement, but they're kind of long-term ideas, so thank you very much. I appreciate that. So we already got our HP and damage done. Obviously these aren't the hardest hitting shells, no man. And you can't really angle because all these ships are shooting HE. I mean, if you angle properly, the shells are less likely to do damage. The fire chance is still the same. This guy's just sitting here. I don't know if his ship is damaged or if he's just chilling. There's a full 5 shells in the air. I don't know what was going on. Maybe I just wasn't seeing them earlier. Didn't know I was streaming today? Yeah. I do have to work, but not till later this afternoon, so I figured I'd fire it up. We do some ship requests, quite possibly. When we do these cruiser lines, there's a lot of ships to get through just because I do the tier 1 and 2. And the Japanese do have 2 premiums that we'll be covering. Jay the Cat's favorite included. The Yubari. Which isn't a bad ship. I think a lot of people think I hate it. It's not bad, it's just kind of hard to play. Been out on the fence about doing it. Yeah, that's... Well, thank you very much, man. That definitely goes a long way. It's not expected by any means. I mean, you guys just tuning in, being subscribers, all that stuff. I mean, that's amazing levels of support right there anyways. But just that extra little boost does help the channel out quite a bit, so thank you very much. Yeah, looks like a better damage con.
The ship is on fire.
I mean, in my mind, I'm like, we should have enough to win, but you never know in general, and given that these are really low-tier players. Alright, I got one of them.
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser.
So we'll just assume this is a win. I don't need to sit here and watch these guys. You're hoping for a Vanguard game. Oh. Yeah, me and Tactic Angel, I don't know if you watched the last stream, but we both played Vanguards. I think we had a combined 200k damage. It's just, it's a hard ship, so it's not a good starting battleship. I don't think the British battleships in general are a good starting line. Through suffering, you can... Oh, Jimry in that game. Alright, let's check out the Tenryu, I believe is how you say it. What is this little gold? Oh, it's like a little platform here. That's kind of cool. I think it's... looks like a bunch of torpedoes or sandbags stacked vertically. I can't tell. But anyway, I mean, similar idea. Tier 2, what are you going to do? Of course, the Graf Spee. Yeah, well, we'll check it out. I know a lot of people are still interested in that ship. Someone posted on my Discord, I can't remember too, but I think it was like 170k damage game in that ship. So, I mean, it's capable of doing high damage. I think my highest so far is like 90 to 100, somewhere in that range. But the problem with the Graf Spee is it's very situational. Like, if you wind up in a match with a lot of cruisers, it can be quite strong because of the armor against cruisers. It's very strong. But battleships can just punish you. So if you get into a game with like a lot of destroyers, which you're not that effective at dealing with, you can shoot them, but it's the least accurate cruiser, especially at the tier. I mean, maybe compared to a tier 1 or 2, it's fairly accurate, but for tier 5 cruisers, it's relatively inaccurate. And battleships, you struggle to kind of do a lot of damage against them. If they're angled at all, you really have to shoot HE, or broadside, you can shoot AP into the upper half of the ship. But we'll check it out. I mean, I got the ship on loan for 2 weeks, so I'll probably try and do one more video. The one I put up yesterday was just kind of a first look impressions. I know a lot of people kind of want some input when the ship first comes out. Didn't get to the game in time. Alright, so we do have a tier 3 match. The ship I don't know much about. Looks like we have AP. We do have torps on here, which they actually look to be fairly long range. I think it's a glass. Whoops. Actually don't want to be. Like, I'm about to be spotted here, so I didn't want this thing on my right, because if I had to turn away, I couldn't do that. So even though I do have to rotate my guns, I'd rather do that than get stuck. Now the Japanese cruisers, you'll see we're going to be shooting a lot of HE today. That's just kind of the default shell you want to be shooting. I don't know that much about this ship's characteristics, but oh. Looks like we had 2 torpedo launchers. That guy's gone. Now, once you get into the higher tier Japanese cruisers, you want to be shooting a lot of AP when you get broadside targets. Alright. Tenryu looks like a converted fishing trawler. Yeah, I mean, these are like the boats that were... Oh, the guy's going for the ram. You don't typically see a lot of destroyers trying to ram each other, but... Alright, so this guy should be capturing D. I'm gonna get on there just to be safe. A lot of low tier games, the people don't capture bases properly. So it's very important to be playing the objectives. This guy's about to wreck my... Yeah, not a lot of damage.
Problem solved, sir.
Can we keep those torps in the water just in case he goes around the island? Damn it. Looks like you can citadel this thing with HE, which is good to know. Enemy playing the Yubari. Yeah, I just saw that guy. I think this guy is trying to go around the island here, so let's see if those torps catch him. That's the kind of risk you take. I was trying to use that damage con to get the steering gears fixed, but now we're going to take a lot of fire damage. Alright, we got the Ishii with a couple torps. And he did use the damage con to repair the fire. And we got the fire, or... Sorry, we used the damage con to repair the flood, and then we got another fire on him, which is ideal. So here I'm going to shoot one right at the around the island in case... Usually ships, when they're pursuing people, will try to take the shortest path, which of course would be cutting the island close. We'll do one on the indicator as well, just in case he sails in a straight line. Looks like we're getting shellacked.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
Got him again. So Japanese cruisers, you want to just be popping up your torpedo view a lot just to check speeds of ships, headings, stuff like that. It's kind of an underutilized tool. Oh, why am I hitting land on that? I don't know what happened to that Ishizuki. I thought he'd be coming right around the bend, trying to pursue. Yeah, we're able to float him out.
Battleship destroyed.
Yeah, it looks like he's attempting to stop and smoke. Nice. Alright. So if we can capture D, we're down 2 ships to 3. I don't have a lot of health, but let's see how it goes. They have one cruiser that's been unspotted the entire game. Is that accurate? Yeah, there's potentially an AFK ship. Uh, 54k damage is not too bad in this. A lot of those are the torps. We've been getting kind of lucky in the torps. Cruisers, I think if you can double your damage, that's usually a pretty good game. Double your HP and damage, I mean. Alright, so we're up on capture points now. I don't know where this... Oh, what is the Caledon? He's either sailing way... I mean, I figure I would spot him by now because I'm in their base. He might just be sitting way up in this corner. What's up, JJJ? Alright, Valkyrie's low. If he can kill this guy before he dies, I think we'd probably win this game. Alright, they kind of killed each other. Now you notice you don't have a plane or anything. Really the only consumable is the damage con. I'm just going to get on A. I could either push him aggressively. He is low, so I do expect to win a battle against him. I'm going to put pressure on A to get him over here. I'm going to try an AP salvo. You're the last hope, kid. Now, if he's really wily, he could come around here and get a first shot advantage on me. I'm planning on him... Oh, he's sonaring me, which is interesting. Increase my distance. Kind of one of the downsides of a lot of these Japanese cruisers is a slower turret traverse. This one doesn't seem horrible. There he is. Oops, I'm turning the wrong way. Shit. Looks like the torp firing angles on this thing are mostly forward. You don't want to force torps. There we go. Save the damage con for any potential fires. So... Oh, he's on D, which is interesting. I mean, we're way up on points. I'm going to capture A and then just sail off. I mean, because this, unless I'm blind, I don't see him on the map, which means he's probably full health. And I assume he's probably a newer player since you kind of have to go out of your way to not be spotted this late in the game, but... You can't underestimate your opponents. I mean, any full health cruiser should be able to wreck my ship, so I'm just going to play it kind of conservatively. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what this guy's doing, to be honest with you. Because I think they spot between A and B. I don't know. I don't play Ring too much just because it's not a higher tier map. He's at D, yeah. I'm not going to, like, sail off and completely ignore him. But I don't want to charge straight into him.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
What's up? Morton? Well, I got an interesting question for you. I think that O with the slash, is that pronounced ear? Would it be Earston? Tiers 3 through 6 are fun this weekend. I mean, Labor Day weekend, there's a lot of interesting gameplay this weekend. Alright, so we should actually see him here. Gonna get into a kiting posture. I think he should be right about here. Get some torps down. What is he in? Caledon. I'm assuming that he uses the typical British AP. Should be fairly effective against my ship. I mean, right now, even if he flips that, he's not going to have enough time to win on points, so... Probably outside of his spotting range. You're from Norway? Yeah. That's what I figured. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the concealments on these ships are, but there he is. There he is, full health as I assumed. So I'm at a pretty significant disadvantage here. I should probably just try and disengage. Again, the later cruisers, we just get some torps down there and kite away. But this Tenryu seems to have forward-firing torps. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to disengage on concealment. So I should lose to this guy. That thing is getting citadel left and right. Thing makes the Danae look like a armored cruiser. He's shooting AP. I don't know what the armor on the Tenryu is. I'm assuming it's pretty weak, but this guy looks like we're actually probably going to be able to kill him if he doesn't kill me with that one. No, he's out of range. So he can outspot me, which is interesting. I mean, I do have the full firing detection, but I thought he shot recently. Let's go see if we can finish him off. Use this Kit Kat for armor. Yeah, it doesn't appear to be a very sturdy ship, does it? So 74k for a 17 HP Tenryu, I think, is a decent game. Let's see if we can find him. I wonder if the community would like a little DeGrasse and Spee comparison video. Graf appears to be a Pensacola with torps. No, the No. The Graf Spee is... It's the strongest armored cruiser. I don't want to make it seem like it's a complete weakling, but the problem with it is when you're playing it, because of the turret traverse and stuff like that, you feel like you're in a battleship, so if you kind of forget and let's say you wind up face to face with the Colorado can absolutely smoke that ship in a 1v1. Well, this guy's the king of the capture points, which I can't blame him for, but I don't know. I mean, I don't hate the Graf Spee. It's not a bad ship. It's just hard. It's hard to play. Like, I don't think a lot of newer players would do very well in it. All right. Well, I have no doubt that that was my damage record at the Tenryu. I don't know how many games I've played in it, but we'll take it. 2,700 XP. Wait, why did I get a bonus? Oh, first game of the day. So this Valkyrie actually did really good too. Alright. That wasn't too bad. Can't see the top of the screen. I don't know, on mine might be our YouTube settings. $92K on that ship? Well, that's pretty damn good. I don't know. I mean, as you can see, I got 6,500 XP on it, so I've probably played 5 or 6 games in it, but I don't know. For a tier 2 cruiser, it wasn't too bad. So should we do the Kuma next or the premiums? We might as well start with the Kuma. This one I got Macau on. I'm going to switch, if I notice, I'll switch to Yamamoto. Obviously, Macau is a lot more leveled up. But Yamamoto, I like him as a commander. I do want to use Macau as the inspiration, though, once I get him leveled up a little bit. German battleship drops suck for the destroyers. Yeah, I mean, you might have gotten really lucky with the destroyers as well. I'm guessing it was probably the same percentage drop. And there was an additional destroyer to unlock. I mean, well, let me think. You could get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it was 5 to 4. Or wait, am I counting that wrong? I don't know. You're playing the same game. Alright, so we got a tier 2 and 3 match. Kuma, again, isn't a ship I play a whole lot. I guess we should probably be checking the stats on these things. I do see him out there, though. That seems like it's pretty easy to the Citadel, the ship. Does have sonar. Take a look at the stats quick. Cruisers. So we got a 10% fire chance in this one. 2,400. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't look like anything special. I'm converted to Yamamoto. Yeah, I'm at least trying him out. I just got him pretty recently in my crates.
All forces provide cover for that target.
I mean, Macau is very strong, so I'm definitely not ruling him out. The thing about the Japanese cruisers, a lot of them are not susceptible to getting shot a lot. Macau definitely helps with that. So looks like we got 3 guns front, 3 guns in the back. Some of these Japanese cruiser gun layouts are interesting. Like that second gun looks like it's on top of that platform in the front of the ship.
Fighter airborne.
Let's see who we got here. Phoenix. I'm gonna try and turn here. This is pretty risky. Yeah, he did shoot at me. There's another Kuma. Torp launch angles are a lot better on this one, it looks like. This guy, I keep thinking he's going to turn broadside, he never does. It's a pretty high firing arcs compared to a lot of the Japanese cruisers. Alright, gonna flip the guns around. looks like he's parking. Oh. Damn it. This guy's actually doing a pretty good job of angling. I do want to help these guys out over here, though, if I can. That guy damage con immediately. Let's see if we can hit him. I'd like to start him on fire, but look at how small that German destroyer is. Those things are tiny, the tier 2 and 3. Alright. Some torps in here for that destroyer. And we'll pop the sonar. Anytime you gotta... I could potentially spot the ship. I don't know if the sonar range is on this one. Oh, it's moving forward. I do want to keep an eye on his torps, though. If we can hit him, we should be able to shred him. There we go.
Enemy destroyer foundered.
Phoenix is coming around broadside. I'm gonna start angling my ship away. Actually, they're both. Some torps down for this guy. Oh, there's that sound bug. Oh, my steering's busted. That's a problem.
Problem solved, sir.
All of them right over him. I think the Phoenix can probably sit on them fairly steeply. I'm kind of under the impression he's torping me, but I don't know for sure. Cruisers, when they turn that far sideways, you just got to be pretty wary that they're torping. Man, this guy's a resilient bugger.
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser. Our team has taken the lead.
Alright. Torp tubes, I don't normally damage con those. I don't think they're that important, and they usually have a pretty quick repair time, so that to me is a pretty low priority. Phoenix uses AP, you can smash you, yeah. I don't think any of these tier 3 cruisers are particularly well armored. So we do have one capture point. This guy's... I don't want to get in a crossfire here though, so I'm gonna hang on. Here's this guy. He's not looking at me. ship is probably torping me. Switch to AP if he's going to sit broadside like that. Got my steering again. There we go. I do have to be very careful about the steering, especially if he's torping. Yeah, it's opening me broadside, which I don't want to do to him. A lot of times if your steering's busted, you'll kind of go into a casual circle like that. And if you're expecting torps, it's dangerous. Santa was forcing me to show full broadside, which is why I took a lot of damage there. Why does the Yubari have bad torp angles? It's a good question. I mean, the Yubari, we'll check that out. Probably, we'll do Iwaki and then Yubari. Alright, let's see what this bugger's doing. Alright. That fire should kill him. There we go. So that one went pretty well. Iwaki's better torp angles? Yeah, for sure. Iwaki's a really good tier 3 ship. Yubari and Graf must be sisters. So we got 3 kills. The damage wasn't as high as the Tenryu, but that's alright. See, if you want to get a lot of XP at 11 Defender ribbons, I don't know what the exact point value is, and it probably changes per tier, but that's a good way to boost. Graf has guns to back up the torps, yeah. It's an interesting ship. I'll take that out. If we die really early in one of these games, I'll fire that one up. We can check it out. Yubari is one of the more accurate ships in the game. It has the aiming systems mod 0, which I think the Iwaki and the Yubari are the only ones that have. So it makes it extremely accurate, which means you can play it at long range. Big race. I really like this map, but I just don't ever see it. How am I doing? I'm doing good. Couldn't hit a damn thing with the Karlsruhe. Yeah, that thing... That's a frustrating ship to play. Yubari Yamamoto, Citadel City. Yeah, I wish I had Yamamoto up to level 11. I'm trying to get my German battleship commanders up, both Ciliax and Hipper, before they drop. I think I'll have Ciliax up to level 11 and Von Hipper up to level 10, I believe. Assuming they don't have some sort of event with some promotion orders between then and now. I think the German battleship line is going to be the first line where it's really a good idea to have multiple builds. What do we got here? Tier 3 game. So this ship, I believe, has really long torps. Yeah, that looks like it's probably about 10 km. This is a ship, the Citadel is basically this entire cutout section, so you do have to be very careful playing this one. But if you're aiming the shells properly, which one that was a little bit behind, but they're going to go exactly where you aim them, pretty much. At least compared to other tier 3 cruisers. And there's our port Dene. Ship is so glass. The one problem with this map is you hit the edges so quickly because it's such a small map. Right, we got two destroyers. switch to AP, but you can citadel this thing with HE rounds, so what's the point? God, that ship is tough. And this is why they're not putting out the British line right away, by the way. It's just they're not all going to be this squishy, but it's not going to be an easy line to play, so just kind of waiting for players to get more experience. Alright. Go ahead and flip around here. There we go.
Enemy cruiser sunk. Off to a great start.
So these torp angles are about the back 60% of the ship. You have to keep that in mind. Looks like he's... I thought he was smoking and stopping, but... guess not. I really don't like to be parallel with ships like this, because people that aren't good at aiming will accidentally hit you. St. Louis seems like a very hard ship to citadel for some reason. Is this guy backing up or what? Ideally, I'd like to get rid of these destroyers. They're just a little far range. Oh, shit. That's a problem. I probably should have turned the other way. The problem is if you get stuck on the edge here, you have to turn around and then your engine's cut to like half speed, so makes you very vulnerable. Good firing angles on this thing.
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser.
Let's get some torps. This is not really worth it. I'm trying to turn this far just to get torps down. I'm gonna beach myself. Ooh. That was wicked. Wyoming kind of bailed us out there. What's up, Owen? How you doing today? Alright, they're on our base. It's got a St. Louis against this Orion. That's not really a good fight.
Attention. Concentrate all efforts on protecting the base.
Looks like we're down one ship. But every 5 seconds he's on the base, they're getting additional points, additional lead in the score, so we do need to... And they do have 2 ships here, which is a problem. Looks like he was smoking.
All forces protect the base.
Yeah, we got a problem. This is not a good ship to be dueling battleships in. I don't want to get too close to them. That one missed. Kind of waiting for him to shoot, and then we're going to turn. Oh shit. Alright, could have been worse.
Ship is on fire.
Even if you're not torping, just popping up this torp indicator will kind of give you an indication. Like, you might not have been able to visually see he was backing up right away. But if you go to that, you'll be able to tell which direction the ship is heading and get a rough idea of the speed. Alrighty, damage con. Probably gonna need those torps to hit. Oh, this is turning into a problem. Wyoming got that guy, which is good. Need to citadel this guy or we're not gonna last too long. Destroyer's on the base, which it's gonna be a loss, unfortunately. That's too bad. What do you think's the best SEAL clubbing ship? Probably the Arkansas. I had to turn around from the base because that Orion was punishing me, but I guess I should have turned around as soon as he died. So that's kind of on me. Oh well. That's the Iwaki. I don't know. You can definitely have some pretty solid games in the Iwaki. When you play in the German battleships, well, if I'm off the day they come out, we'll stream then. But the only ones I have are the Scharnhorst and the Turpids. So, I don't know. A decent game there. Never played the Arkansas. Yeah, it's pretty damn strong. Wait. Was I in the Yubari? I think I was in the Iwaki. Yeah. Yubari only has 2 turrets. So this one, we'll see how it goes. Once in a while, you can do pretty well. There's a lot of people that swear by the ship, so maybe I just don't play it enough, but you gotta go. Alright, man, thanks for popping by. Back on Big Race. I mean, the problem for me is it's a low DPM ship, and the torps aren't really that good due to poor firing angles, so it's hard to get really high damage games. Don't get sneezed on, yeah, exactly. I mean, the Iwaki's not a well-armored ship. The Yubari's about as brittle as they come. We won't know until we get the armor modeler, but I think you can consider everything from turret to turret. It's probably a citadel on this thing. So you do kind of have to play it at long range. The aiming's mod 0 makes it very accurate, so you can do that. How do we get a second base trade? You have to get your commander leveled up to level 11, and then the breakdowns are tiered, or level 7 you get the first inspiration, and then level 11 you get the second one. Alright, I'm going to play a kind of a middle spawn here. Big race, most of the time one group converges over here and one group converges in that kind of corner. So you can get some interesting angles. A lot of games if you play this kind of center spawn. A lot of people just sail forward, which way they're pointing, and these ships all point this way, and these ships all point directly south, and it's kind of vice versa, going the other way. But Yubari, you can get one shot. So I try and stay on the move. No consumables on this one, obviously. This is kind of the section I'm talking about. A lot of times you won't see any ships in here on this map, and if you do kind of set up camp here, you can... Oh, someone spotted me. There, this guy. You get 2 guns per turret, so you get up to 4 guns, which isn't a lot of damage output. Torp angles, I mean, you can see they're abysmal on this thing. Shit. This guy put some smoke down, which I can't use, but I did sail through it. I cannot... I was gonna say, you can't get detected here. The AP on this is a lot stronger than I would have thought it would be. Unfortunately, we sailed through these firing angles on these guys. Let's test it out on this guy. He's got 3 pens. It's pretty decent. Smoke's almost worn out. Which is too bad. I sailed through it, so I didn't get to use it too much. I should get decent damage on that thing. And he shot. I was worried about getting undetected there. We got a major problem here because I kind of have to sail through here. There's an Orion here, Orion there. Just gonna try and disengage, maybe get some torps on this guy. As long as that Orion's shooting someone else, I'm relatively safe.
Torpedoes to port.
And we did torp that guy. Nice. He got him.
Battleship destroyed.
Double strike.
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser. We've got 2
Torpedoes to port.
Let's go for the triple.
Bullseye.
What are you doing? Did that guy ram him? Oh my god. There's a lot of ramming out there today. I don't know if you guys are picking up on that. We got 2 destroyers over there. See if I can sit back here and shoot this guy for a minute. Kuma's broadside and slowing down. We're gonna take some shots. Don't take him any incoming fire. Yeah, that's kind of the rule of thumb with this one. Did land a citadel on this guy. I mean, the AP rounds, like I mentioned, are better than I suspected when I first got the ship. Oh, this little bugger. I got that destroyer behind me spotting me, but he's tied up with someone else, so I'm not too concerned. kind of like jerked when I busted his engine. That was bizarre. I don't know if he like slammed on the brakes or what. I mean, this is kind of the strength of the ship, is the accuracy. You can see flunking that destroyer even at fairly long range. We gotta go defend the base. Shit, I can't turn around here.
Attention, concentrate all efforts on protecting the base. Attention, all forces.
You can ping the base. No one's gonna do anything about it. They don't care. They just don't care. Man, this thing is slow to get going. What's this guy doing? Defend the base, guys. Come on. You can't be this dumb. There's a ship in front of me. I'm gonna shoot him. The guy got off of the base, which is even dumber. Alright. Buys us a little time. Ooh.
Target penetrated.
Questioning your life's decisions. And I'm worried about this battleship, whatever it is. Wow, that didn't even... Alright, he's back on the base. God, these islands are causing major problems.
Torpedoes, astern.
Oh, the battleship's dead. Never mind. Alright, we might actually win this one. I mean, this guy, all he had to do was sit in the base. I couldn't get to him without killing that Kuma first, because I would have had to be broadside to him for an extended period of time. Which obviously is a problem. That he's screaming at you now. Yeah, ruining the damage total. Exactly. It's just, it's frustrating for people that try and win if you got a bunch of people on your team that don't care whatsoever. So I got 86k, which that's got to be about 5 times our HP. Take that into Yubari any day. What's up, John? Favorite YouTuber? Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Now here's kind of where the lack of consumables can be a problem. We don't have sonar, we don't have planes. So we're going to have to get fairly close to these destroyers. We got an Isikaze, which is going to be tough to spot, and a Clemson, which shouldn't be that tough to spot. Clemson could potentially pepper us with AP if they know what they're doing. Kraken's coming. Well, we'll see what happens. There's torps over there, which is interesting. So we do have one destroyer, probably towards their base. It's going to make this easier to deal with. And luckily we're not spotted, so they can get torps in the water, but we'll for sure be able to reset the base at least.
Torpedoes, direct front.
Yeah, this guy. He just blind fired the torps.
Torpedoes, direct front.
I was going to torp him back, but we can't do anything. I do have to be careful. He has 3 quick reloading salvos, so I don't want to underestimate this situation. If you're wondering why I was spotted when he was in smoke, you do have a smoke firing penalty, which kind of, it depends on the ship you're in, but it will increase your visibility. It's like battleships, for instance, if they fire in the smoke, you can be spotted at nearly full range. It's kind of, the bigger the gun caliber, the bigger the boom. So he is on the base, which means he's about right here, on probably the far side of the smoke. And he's probably just wildly firing off torps, which is a danger to me. I could maybe take 1 torp in this. Alright, he's over here. Interesting. Here's where the sonar would be really nice. Oh, there he goes. Where you going, my boy? Alright. I could have just stayed in the smoke and dealt with them that way. But... Ooh, we gone!
Enemy destroyer foundered.
First Kraken was in the Yubari. Yeah. I'm not saying it's a bad shit. It's just against players that can aim really well, they can delete you pretty quickly. And it is kind of a ship that you should get rid of because it's extremely accurate. So as you saw there, we were able to kind of deal with destroyers and stuff at longer ranges than a lot of ships could be. Alright, we got 3 cake. I might save that one just for shits. That's a decent score. Double strike, devastating strike, Kraken, Confederate, high caliber. I think French cruisers are next. Yeah, we went over the Q&A they released today earlier in the stream, like right when it started. So if you guys missed that, you can check back later. But there's a lot of information they kind of put out there today. Holy crap, it's another video. I mean, I might put it up. We'll have to see, because if it's on the stream, I know a lot of people are already watching it, so. What's up, Mark? How you doing? King George is the Kraken King. Can be in the right situations. Worman, what's happening, my boy? Hey, John. Can play, will play. Can you play? I'm just playing by myself today. We're doing Japanese Cruiser tech tree. And so far, we've been alive throughout all the games, so I haven't really had a chance to play the Graf Spee. But if I get smoked early in the game, we'll check that ship out. I think the Graf Spee would definitely be enhanced by a high-level Mueller, too. I only have him at level 8. The problem with all my German builds is I had Deutsche Dewey through the entirety of the cruiser line. I didn't start getting the captains unlocked until right before the destroyer line came out. So I haven't had a chance to put a lot of points into those guys.
Battle starts.
How many games do you think it'll be to be competent? Yeah, I mean, 1,000's probably a decent number. Going Tebow hunting later. I mean, I'm personally still getting better at the game. I have about 4,000 games, so if you play 20 games and you think you're good, I hope you're a long-time PC vet, because otherwise you've got a long way to improve. There's just a lot of nuances to this game to understand. What's the best ship of the line? Probably Mogami. Tier 5 through 7 are all very strong. We'll see if I can have some decent games in them today. Furutaka's decent. It's a really slow firing ship at the range though. This is the first heavy cruiser out of all the lines. Gotta begin turning here before I start firing. And this one we're already at the edge of the map too. This is a smaller map. I have to keep that in mind. I don't know, I really like the Japanese cruisers though. It's probably my favorite line. Alright, gonna have to turn here, we're running out of real estate. Oh, we got a Dene. I think we can citadel this thing from this angle. I don't know for sure though. Oh. Torp firing angle is pretty good. Looks like one launcher per side. What the hell? There's a lot of German destroyers in these low tier games today for some reason. This guy's backing up. A little little too far forward. So now, just switching to torpedo, even if you're not planning on torpedoing, I can see he's going forward before. It takes a little while to visually show up on screen when they're changing directions like that. If you just switch to your torp view briefly, you get a good idea of what they're doing. Man, that Tenryu is fragile. That's a ship. That's not a frontline ship. If you're gonna play that thing, you need to be in the back,
Concentrate fire on the target.
preferably behind cover. Koenig, I don't know too much about yet. Oh, shooting at me. That could be a problem. I'm guessing German battleship accuracy. Jesus, these guys want me dead.
Requesting assistance.
Gotta be careful here. Königsberg. This is not a ship you want to be messing with. As long as they're angled against these, though, they can't do the massive damage to you. Because the AP is extremely angle dependent. If you're broadside on a cruiser to a Königsberg and they can aim, you're in trouble. But angled like this, you should just switch to HE. There's nothing you can really do. Aside for some minor chip damage here and there. Japanese HE probably the strongest. Yeah, for sure. Like, if you don't know which shell you want to be shooting in this one, definitely load an HE. I'll switch to AP when you get broadside cruisers at decent firing ranges. Just depends on which ship you're in. So this guy's basically stopping here. And again, this is just switching to that torp view. You can get a lot of intelligence that ships that don't have torps cannot have access to, so... Gonna go and contest B. We are down a ship, we're down points. Looks like we got a guy attempting to capture A, but he's sitting there broadside, so that could potentially end poorly for him pretty quickly. Getting spotted by something. So that's telling me the destroyer's over here. We don't know exactly where. This guy gets another round off, he can do some damage. Alright, he got chased off of B. But yeah, the HE, it has good damage if you get HE penetrating shots and then good fire starting chances as well. These are really juicy firing angles, look at this. You can see in the diagram in the bottom there. This guy is a problem. Auto. That's the broadside Königsberg, which I was talking about. Should be able to kill me. This island is a major problem. I can't angle away from them. Yeah, that's the problem right there. That's what you got to be wary of the Königsberg. That ship can do some damage in a heartbeat if you wind up broadside to him. Last I'd seen him, he was kind of backing away from B, but then I was too focused on these two battleships and kind of took my eye off the ball, so that's the danger you run into against that ship. I don't think we're going to win that one. You have to upgrade the Vanguard. Dispersion goes down, yeah. I mean, all Tier 7 ships in general are... they're much better performing as you upgrade them. You got legendary John Jellicoe. Let's see. I'm gonna go to the bathroom quick, guys. Give me 42 seconds. Alright. Next time in 30 seconds. Certain things you don't want to rush. Alright, so that's the Furutaka. I'm not that in love with that ship. I think it's probably the weakest one of the line. The Aoba, on the other hand, is... Don't stop to shake. This one's pretty good. For some reason, I don't play this one as much as I feel like I should. I mean, the Myoko and the Mogami are both really good ships, so I usually play those two. Build around HE. Get a lot of flack saying the Iowa's noob friendly. I mean, it is not noob friendly. I mean, it's a tier 9 ship on PC, and the other, like the Yamagi's a tier 8. I'm sure they tweaked the balance a little bit, but it's pretty strong. Here we got a tier 6 matchup. Three Colorados, that's the problem. Queen Elizabeth, Fuso. Yeah, this is... For an open water map like this, it's going to make it hard. I'm going to play this very fluidly. Try and stay at longer range and dodge shots if possible. We'll see if these guys support me or not. If I'm on the north side here, you want to kind of move over to this area right here. There's no caps and capture the base mode, obviously, so it changes the deployment a little bit. Usually, like I can shoot now, I'm trying to turn away before I do. That's going to make dodging incoming shots a lot easier. Oops, I had AP loaded. The problem, I mean, we're almost out of real estate already, which is... Yeah, we didn't get anything there. HE rounds are the round de jour for this one as well. So what I'm reading on the map, I got one guy sighted here, which means there's probably two here. We're gonna have to spot them, or get the plane up there, see if we can spot them. There's a Colorado behind them. Colorado and Fuso I need to be aware of, but there's... I don't see a destroyer on the map yet. It's probably right here, if that's who it... Nope, we do have a cruiser over there as well. York. So they're all abandoning the side. So I'm gonna keep getting around to flank these guys. Japanese cruisers are really good at flanking. These guys, a lot of times this north spawn, everyone will bug out and just go to the middle, which really sucks. I mean, that's what essentially this side is doing here. Man, that Fuso's getting wrecked. I want to get the turrets next. Yeah, the turrets is... From what I've heard, they're still looking at the data on that to see how it's performing. And there's some debate about whether it sits too high in the water or not, I guess. We don't really know yet. All I have is a level 11 shear. Yeah, that's, I mean... Here we go. The generics are pretty good on destroyer builds, decent on cruiser builds, and just abysmal on battleship builds. So if you're running them on cruisers, it's not the end of the world. It's not ideal. But I played through the entire cruiser line when they came out with Deutsche Dewey. This guy's aiming at me. Ah, shit. If I hadn't started turning, I would have turned into those. Yeah, that's the problem you're gonna run into here. It's like 2 citadels at least. And Colorados aren't the most accurate ships, but if they land, they're absolute. It's the same guns as the Iowa has, so. I guess once I saw that his guns were pointed at me, I should have turned into him, taken a salvo. I would have probably not bounced the shots, but I wouldn't have gotten double citadeled. And then once he was on his reload, then he can more safely turn, or I could have just gotten behind this island. So that was a major mental lapse that cost me severely. I have a lot of room. I was going to say I could park back here and shoot these guys, but they're right on the edge of my firing range. They are getting over, though. Oh, he's going faster than I thought. That's too bad. Wargaming needs to fix the turret speeds. What's wrong with them? You want the Bismarck? Yeah. I'm looking forward to that one. This guy's got his guns on me here. Oh no, they're moving forward now. And same play, I'm going to try and start turning. It's actually going backwards. I want to be in a kiting position. Again, I'm right on the edge of the map, so I don't have a lot of room here, but I can get a couple, 2-3 salvos off on them and then let my guns go silent. He sped up more than I thought he was gonna. By using that torp trick, you could see, like, visually on the screen, it didn't look like he was moving forward that much, but. And this is where Macau. This is why I really like him, because it will tell you if ships are targeting at you or targeting you. Here, you gotta just kind of manually check them. Gosh. Oh, right on the edge. We got double fire. I think he damaged Khan previously, so could potentially do some damage to him. Oh, looks like he's dead. One single fire. Did you see your question? No, I didn't. Alright, so we're up 2 ships. They're all bunched up, and we're going to have a lot of different, at least 2 firing angles. We got one firing angle from the west, their northwest, and one from their northeast. So you can see, if they're trying to angle against the guys to our west, then we're getting a lot of broadsides over here, and vice versa. I don't know what battleship that is over there, probably Colorado. But this is why you don't want to ball up here. We'll see. I mean, if I was them, I would aggressively punch through that western flank, try and kill them off. And then they could reposition against us. It's Colorado's low, Nuremberg's Queen Elizabeth. Yeah, let's go down here and support these guys. Graf's not agile enough to play like the Graf. Yeah, totally different playstyle. The Graf Spee is extremely unique.
Our team has taken the lead.
Alright, Colorado got wrecked. How can you tell if a ship's targeting you? If you have the... It's called Ingenious for most of the commanders. Makawa's got it. Luchin's has it. I can't remember which British commander, but that's not really relevant. Norm Scott has it, but it's called something else. And the little icon that pops up as the detected icon, if you have that perk active, then it'll show a little number next to it when ships are targeting you. Close. I was gonna say we're only up one ship, but our battleships are really high health. I don't want to throw my life away though, because it's a lot easier for them to do what they need to do if they have a cruiser supporting them. They don't have any DDs, so I'm not too concerned about using the sonar. I mean, the Nuremberg, if we get close to them, could potentially torp. There we go. Alright. Did you play in the PC version? No, I didn't. No. I played on the alpha test in this game, which was... Oh, wow, that guy got wrecked. Colorado against Queen Elizabeth. The alpha test was in like December through January of last year, I think. Might have been February or something like that. But played about 200 games, give or take, for that. And then I just started playing when it came out, pretty much day 2. So this one, I did do a lot of damage this game. Number 1, getting smoked early, you do have to play more conservative. Number 2, the flank that we secured, well, we didn't get a lot of damage doing it. Getting up here, that allowed our ships to comfortably move into crossfire situations. So there's a lot of games where if you do your job, you might not necessarily get a lot of damage doing it, but it's still going to be to your benefit in terms of winning games. Let's see. I already got him. So that one's a pretty good ship. For whatever reason, I don't play it as much as I could. But it is fun to play. Yeah, score-wise, we didn't do a whole lot there, but you know, like I said, we kind of did our... You had to step away. No, I didn't see your question. Wasn't sure what you were asking. Myoko is another fun one. This one I do take out a bit. Kind of the key to this ship is really slow turret traverse, so you can actually out-turn in terms of your ship. You can turn faster than your turrets can turn, so you can kind of out-turn your aim, which can make it difficult at times. Yeah, exactly, Jay. I mean, the Graf speed, like I said early on, a lot of you guys probably haven't tuned in yet. Against other cruisers, the armor is fantastic. If you're angled properly, they really can't do a lot with the AP. But then if they have a battleship supporting them, the battleship can just ignore your angles pretty much. Especially if you're in a tier 6 match against like Colorados. I mean, you guys saw the power that those Colorados Citadels or guns were putting out in the last game. They're very strong guns. You're in the game? Well, if you're in the game on the other team, I don't mind. There's Stylo. What Stylo always does, which I appreciate, just either pause the stream or mute it and close the window or whatever, just so you're not getting intel. Otherwise, it's not very fun to play when people have a massive advantage over you. This guy, I'm trying to avoid blocking him, but... So we have no destroyers. This game that's interesting. Kind of makes the cappy dynamics change. Pensacola. Yeah, we can try and cap. This guy was...
Fighter airborne.
I could have switched to AP there for that Nuremberg. We got Colorado, Scharnhorst, New Mexico, Fuso. I mean, the Myoko, if you angle your armor pretty well, properly, then you can block a lot of shots. You don't want to get too overconfident in it either. I think the Citadel on this ship is in the back half if you're trying to Citadel it. Coming for me. I'm gonna have to get trickier and loading in the games, I think. Alright, why are you backing up? God damn it. Nuremberg is about to come around here. If I can catch him broadside. Here's what I'm talking about. We kind of have to stop to shoot, which isn't... That could get me killed, so I can't really shoot right now. I was trying to get into a position to kill him right off the bat, but unfortunately that ship kind of blocked me. Ah, let's do that. And you can see you got to be fairly broadside to get all the guns on target, but you rather protect yourself than not have all the guns. Got in trouble. Ooh, nice shot. If that guy hadn't killed him, I think we were going to follow up with some damage of our own, but Pensacola, you do not want to sleep on that ship's guns, so... Yeah, we should be alright. So we're going to capture C. We can see all the threats, and then I flip my guns around. We're going to prepare for this New Mexico. If he pushes aggressively, I can kind of position to go this way and kite away from him. It looks like he's just sitting in the water. It's moving a little bit. Alright, I'm going to switch back my guns. Kind of figuring out when you want to switch your gun sides is trickier than I think people would think normally. But it's a consequential decision. What I want to do is position myself so I can fire over this little crest right here without exposing myself. What's spotting this New Mexico? I don't know. It might be this Pensacola. I don't think so. It could also be this New Mexico right here. Did he just die? No. This guy's backing up. That's what they teach you in U.S. Navy Academy when you're playing battleships, or training to be in battleships. Just back up. And they're 5K. If you're landing groups into this superstructure, massive amounts of damage. And we get some, there's another 3.5 plus 2 fires, so this is where the Japanese HE really shines. And as long as I don't get spotted by a plane, I could be safe. Now if I get spotted here, I should probably try and adjust my angle a little bit in anticipation, because if I do get spotted by a plane or something unexpected and I'm sitting broadside, this guy could put the hurting on me. Now his guns are not pointed at me. Here we get another fire. And this Aoba's coming around here. I want to get as much damage on this guy as possible. I got maybe one more salvo before he's out of range. Yeah, I can lob over on this guy. Got another fire, nice. Alright, he's dead. Now, if that New Mexico would have pushed aggressively, that's when I would have needed to sound the alarm. Actually, this guy's coming back. Because again, I'm My angling's in a really bad spot, and the problem is I'm facing here. I should be working on it, but I do want to get as many shots off as I can. Now I am plane spotted, so you can see the shots are incoming. And we've been pissing them off for a while, so normally they're going to try and retaliate. We're just going to swing our rear to the left, and that's going to give us a nice angle. Battleship AP, you don't want to ever underestimate it. Now we got a major problem. Take one more shot and then we're going to get out of here. Yeah, we need to go. Here's where a speed boost would really come in handy. Potentially he could kill me right here. I mean, that's definitely a possibility. I'm going to let my guns go silent and try and get that plane to not be able to spot me. They're coming around faster than I was hoping. Alright, we're undetected now. Colorado. This guy's guns are turned. It's out of range. Alright, we gotta fire. Looks like he's not able to use the damage con, so that was pretty nice. I don't know why no one on our team is getting B to hit chances. So, I mean, they have 3 battleships here. I'm kind of conceding C, but 2 USN battleships. I didn't see what the third was, but they're so slow that if they commit to getting C, they're going to kind of take themselves out of the battle for a little bit. So I'm alright with that. And we're going to move to B and just kind of hope to trade these caps if they do, in fact, push down here. Here's that guy, which I was expecting. Unfortunately, I'm broadside to him, which is a problem. I got him a couple citadels though, so it's fairly juicy. I don't want this New Mexico to get beat up too hard, but here's one battleship. Once that plane gets up, we're going to be in a better position. Alright, Myoko quieted his guns down, so he's going to capture B. We're down 2 ships, but the score is evening up because we're currently 2 caps to 0. Now they are about to capture B, which is going to change the dynamic a little bit. This guy needs to stop getting pummeled. Sitting broadside like that's not the way to stop getting pummeled.
Enemy battleship sighted.
It's too bad I wasn't ready to shoot this guy. And they are on C now.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Interesting. Guy tried to torp me. This guy's low. I think a lot of these ships are low health. If I can get B flipped again, I think we might have a chance at this one. Looks like he damage conned this. 7 defeats in a row. Eesh. It happens. I mean, you're definitely going to go on streaks, and a lot of it you can't necessarily control. Alright, he got that Myoko. I was almost gonna abandon B and kill him because we need to even up the score in terms of ships. Now we have a bunch of battleships. Scharnhorst is high health. I'm gonna hope he can win. Now this guy is definitely gonna die soon. So it's gonna kind of be up to me to defend this flank here. Actually, I need a bomb on this guy if I can. That's what I'm talking about. These USN battleships that went over here, they are going to show up, but they kind of removed themselves out of the fight for a little bit. So that's going to give me a chance to help this Scharnhorst out. We need to kill this guy as quick as we can. Flip B and then get into a defensive posture. This guy looks like he's about to shoot me, and we're getting shot from the left, which is or the right. Shit. Something over there's got an angle at me and I can't even see him. Let's see where these shots come. I'm assuming they shot through this gap, but it's very risky for me to turn to shoot this guy because oh shit. I'm exposing myself. God damn it. There he is right there. So that's where I thought he was. I should not have turned to shoot that guy. That was just... We had to take some risks. Saw a lot of stupid play in one game. Yeah, that's a frustrating part when you're up on a game by a lot and then your team tries to kill them all and then dies on losing all the ships. So I don't know. I mean, we got 76k, which is pretty decent. It's not abnormal, though. You can get pretty high damage games in this. 100k plus, no problem. Well, let's load up the Mogami. This one's kind of my favorite of the line. Stylo, are you still alive? I didn't even notice. So you can have 2 base traits but can't figure out how to unlock. That's the inspirations. You have 1 trait that's on your commander from the minute you get them. Then the inspirations, you need to get the commander level up to level 7 and level 11. And those will allow you to put an inspiration on. Inspirations are the other commander's base trait only. So just keep leveling up your commander and then you'll be able to put those on. What are the pros and cons from the Mogami? Mogami is pretty sweet in every way except for Citadel Central. If you get shot in the side in this ship, you can get wrecked very quickly. You can get one shot by battleships, no problem. So you need to play it carefully. I'll show you my equipment setup and stuff after this. But I do have double rudder shift on this, which helps dodge shots. If you get into positions where you can fire undetected, though, you can put out a lot of damage. Very nice HE shells, high damage, high fire chance. AP is no joke if you get in the right situations.
Battle starts.
So I like everything about the ship except for if you get shot in it, you will not survive very long. So you need to play it very well. So it's kind of a high-level skill ship, but that's what, you know, if you put the double rudder shift on, that's going to help you avoid those citadels. You can bounce some AP shells from cruisers and stuff close range. You definitely don't want to be taking a lot of shots with battleships, so even if you're angled.
Fighter airborne.
Stylo, are you back in? Alright, I can't check right now. I gotta be careful. I'm gonna try and be kiting away here as we come around this island. Turret traverse is a little slow. You can see those circles are getting ahead of where I'm aiming. It's not as bad as the Myoko. What the hell is he shooting at? This guy. So this, as teammates, you don't want to sail that close to your teammates. Like, he put me at risk of getting shot, and I'm not even detected. Alright, a little bit of damage, a little bit of fire. I am spotted now, so there's a DD over here. You need to keep an eye on that. And you kind of need to time your shots. Like if I see this guy... Oh, there's another Colorado. What is spotting me? I don't know. It's interesting. Oops. So here I do need to be very careful. I got a crossfire situation between two Colorados. This guy's not aiming at me yet, but this could change very quickly. I cannot let this guy shoot me in the broadside. He's shooting HE, which is fine. I'm right on the edge of the map, which is also a major problem. Why am I missing these shots? Should be getting about 5k of salvo plus fires on this superstructure. Man, he's actually reversing. Yep. HE I'm not as worried about getting shot at. He will damage mods and stuff like that, but it's a lot preferable to getting shot with AP. Oh, that guy's shooting. Alright, I just have to risk it. Unfortunately. And we lost the torps. Yeah, this is a bad situation. I'm gonna have to switch the gun sides actually. Guys aiming over here. This New Orleans definitely wants them though. Now he switched. And again, watch your diagram to see where guns are. There's no point in me angling any further open than this to hit this guy right now because my guns have not yet caught up. Oh, doggy. Oh. My positioning has just been kind of off. Like, I'm getting blocked by these islands. I'm getting blocked by the edge of the map. That might kill him there. We'll see. Yeah, he's dead. Alright. So that's a big ship. These Colorado guns are definitely just scary. You can see we're already half health, which is a problem. Just destroyer. I can't really sail towards this guy because of this island blocking my turn, but if we can get one or two salvos on him, we can wound him significantly. Ah, I got away. Shit. I think this guy just shot me. Yeah. Alright. That is the problem you run into with this ship. You really can't mess up. There's no room for it. Thanks, Bo. Bo really does not want me to live very long. King George is low. Alright. Plan to get the Sharn horse if they fix the turrets. Right now they're just looking at the turrets and seeing how it works. I don't know what's going to happen with it. I mean, my boy Dragos on my Discord, I think he posted like 200 and some odd damage game on that ship last night. It's not like you can't do well on it, you just need to play it carefully, kind of like this one. So, I don't know, I've taken it out for a couple spins. I wasn't playing it for a while just because of the issues it's having, but you can do alright. Alright, why is my team sailing away The guy's clearly capping, and these guys are sailing away. For those of you that are watching the stream and playing, do not sail away from the base, please. Obviously, we're going to have to get down there, defend. I mean, you got to, for some reason, a lot of times the south spawn really bunches up on this side of the map, and the north spawn really bunches up on the east side of the map. And then, usually one or the other can push through to the base very quickly. Half my team's going to their base, which is not what we need to be doing right now. These guys completely abandoned this. Like, what are you guys doing? Josie Wales, you might be in the stream. I recognize that name. Where are you guys going? Alright, let's see if we can get some shots here.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
A little close to this island. There's Stylo over there.
All stations retreat.
All stations defend the base.
Alright, what's this guy doing? There we go. So there's something else on this that's been capping. I don't think it was Stylo. I think he's back. I think the other destroyer's over here. You can see he was last spotted in the middle there, so... That destroyer we need to find and reset because he can eventually cap this on his own. If we can kill his turrets in the meantime, that's going to help. But even though I'm low health and not in a position to really push, I kind of have to. This guy needs to die.
Torpedoes dead ahead.
Stylo?
Our team has taken the lead.
Torpedoes direct front.
This guy needs to get on the cap, which looks like he finally did. Stylo did have a couple points in him. Alright, let's switch to guns. This guy's low. I mean, obviously we have the destroyer in there.
Main turret critically damaged.
I could swing around to torp this, but that's going to expose me to broadsides. It's probably not worth it. But this destroyer needs to be dealt with. This guy's getting torped. Damn it. Probably torping. Overturn the guns. There's nothing I can do about it. I need to hit this guy and get rid of his capture points. And I'm about to die. Alright, we got 2 resets. Oh, let's see. This guy's not moving in. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to win this one. If you could kill Stylo, and this guy needs to move toward the base because he needs to be able to stop this counting going up. He's going away from the base. So, Geldegor 19 is effectively conceding the game, so there's nothing we can do. Yeah, Jay, that's frustrating. Let's take a look at the Graf Spee lower weight. We'll do a couple more Mogamis, and then, since that one's going to take a little while, we'll try this guy out. You can see my Von Mueller is only level 8, which isn't ideal for the ship. I think it would be better, because Von Mueller does have perks to increase the accuracy as well. Graf's no good, waste of money. It's a unique ship, which makes it interesting to play. Some games you'll basically do nothing, even if you play it well. Some games you'll do a lot. Some games you'll get absolutely wrecked if a Colorado shoots you. It's a very situational ship in that way. Like, it depends on who you're loaded in on in terms of ships on the enemy team. And good game. Yeah, you played well, man. But there's no point in watching that game because obviously that Colorado conceded the loss, so, which is frustrating if you play hard to try and win and then they just give up. Alright, so we have no destroyers over there, which is lots of cruisers. This is actually a pretty favorable matchup for the Graf B. King George and Icarus. Alright, so they should be right about here is where they spawn in.
All stations. Position a strategic target.
Three overpens. Pensacola. I mean, at range, you can... If you're shooting battleships, I would switch over to HE on this one. Cruisers, it's still worth shooting the AP just because it's quite stronger caliber. Furutaka wants to go. Okay, let's see how you got this. There you can see he basically does no damage. And we do a fair amount of damage. Now again, the accuracy is a consideration on the ship, but if he's shooting AP like this, I can just angle and he can't really do anything. Pensacola shooting into the broadside though can do some damage, so you need to keep that in mind. It does have a quick reload though, which is nice. For the type of guns it has, at least. Oops. And to heal. Jay had a good idea about using the Mueller's setup that gives you an extra consumable for this ship. That would give you 3 heals. I haven't bothered to change my setup, but that would be a wise way to play the ship.
Enemy severely damaged.
This guy's not even going to shoot at me. I'm just going to bomb on him. Let my guns catch up. And that could take care of him, depending on if... Oh! That's what I do a lot when playing the ship. I accidentally hit the heel, because on battleships the heel's up. Or I accidentally hit the radar, or the sonar, whatever it is. Like, pretty much every single time I try and heal, I do that. What are you doing? Hey, Battlestar. Still watching. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I mean, no problem with taking a break from the game. Sometimes you just need to play something else for a while and then come back to it later. But I appreciate you hanging out and watching. Alright, so we are spotted by this battleship, or this plane. I don't know where the battleship was last seen. Or I know where he was last seen. He was last seen right there, but he could have moved north of B, or he could be basically in the same spot, so do have to be careful about that. But as long as I don't get shot in the broadside from the battleship up here, I can delete this Pensacola with no problem. The Pensacola has no torps, so I'm not afraid of that ship whatsoever. You know, I mean, this is... I mean, the Pensacola can do some damage, but if I'm angled properly, like a nice steep angle, my guns can punch through his angle. His guns shouldn't be able to punch through mine. We'll find out, though. It's going to shoot HE, that's fine.
The ship is on fire.
Turn broadside. Man, that shot was actually a lot less successful than I was hoping. You do have some secondaries that go off on this, but I wasn't caught on them. As soon as I'm talking shit about the Pensacola, he's actually wrecking me. But, yeah. It's bound to happen sooner or later.
Our team is taking the lead.
So I don't know, he shouldn't have stopped. He should have kept going forward and then kind of just turned away from me like that. And he actually, I mean, he was doing a lot more damage than I was expecting him to. I thought he would have AP loaded. But I guess loading HE is probably the right play there. So this is a route. I mean, 41k, this is the... For me, I haven't had a lot of high damage games in this person. I think my highest was just shy of 100. And it's a combination of a lot of different factors. It's not a high DPM ship, so... I think playing, securing sides and killing cruisers should be your main objective. Damage, whether it comes to you or not, is kind of irrelevant. But like I said earlier, I think someone on my Discord had like 170k or something like that in this game. Yeah, these guns will... You should definitely be afraid of these guns if you're in a cruiser. And you do not want to give broadside like that guy. I mean, he had no chance. Alright, so we got C. What do they have? Aoba, Sharnors, and Neisno. 2 German battleships left. So we probably won't even be able to catch these guys. This is kind of one of the downsides. I mean, cruiser, you normally want a little bit more speed. This is pretty much full speed. I think it tops off to about 30 knots. So, do have to keep that in mind. But I don't not like the ship. I just think it's hard to play. And it just depends on what you load it in on. Like here we had 2 cruisers over here, which we had no problem dealing with those ships. But if we load in on a match where there's 2 Colorados and a destroyer over here, you're going to get absolutely destroyed in that matchup, and there's a real chance that you might do 10k, 15k damage and then be done, which is nowhere near your ship's hit points. I mean, here we did what we needed to do. We basically got our ship's hit points in damage, so... Like I say, if you're looking for a ship to play in ranked battles whenever they come out, this is not going to be it. You'd be a lot better off using the Graf Spee, or not the Graf Spee, the de Grasse. Any of these? Oh, you guys have the guys now? Yeah, I don't have it personally, but playing against them and talking to the people in my Discord that do, I'm pretty excited for that. I'm excited for the German battleship line, to be honest with you guys. I got Von Hipper and Celiax unlocked. I'll have them both up to usable levels by the time the line drops. And I'll have them both up to level 11 once, or about a week into it, so. Ranked only in the Smith. I mean, as far as I know, the ranked will be like, this season will be ranked, or tier 5, or this season will be tier 7, and then you can pick ships from there. But I never played on PC. They said it's going to be similar to how it works on PC. So those of you that have played PC should have a good idea. We're actually getting semi-close. I'm going to switch you over to HE for these long-range shots. AP can do damage, but you have to basically hit upper hull superstructure, which can be tricky to do at these longer ranges. HE shells, you'll get a small amount of damage, pretty decent fire chance for this ship though, so the best is the rank game per ship or per player? Per player, I believe. What ship next? I'll do another Mogami game. since we're featuring the Japanese tech tree. And then maybe, depending on time, we might take a couple requests, so I'll probably play for another 45 minutes, give or take. I do have to hit the bathroom one more time, though. I had a bunch of coffee right before I fired up the stream. And keep in mind, I do have Norm Scott Max, level 16 plus 1 right here, so this is about as accurate as you're going to get these guns. Von Mueller, once you level them up, will increase the accuracy more, but this is not. That's actually a pretty good grouping right there. This is. That salvo right there is kind of what you should be expecting from this ship. Now the Scharnhorst has the same guns as I do. I'm not really afraid of this ship. If I had time, oops. I was gonna say if I had time to switch over to AP, I would have.
Enemy battleship foundered.
But I had my guns out of sync there. So until you get higher up the ranks, then more people know what they're doing. Yeah, I think that's how it works. I mean, I only played 1 or 2 ranked seasons in World of Tanks, just because I started playing that game about a year ago. Yeah, so there. I mean, we got 28k XP there, which is, you know, we had a capture and assisted capture for defense. That's where a big bulk of that XP came from. But we did kill 3 ships. 50k damage, not anything special, but not horrible, you know. So let me take one more break. I'll be back in 39 seconds this time. You don't think it'll be tier 7? Yeah, I don't think the first season would be. I'd be guessing probably tier 5 or 6. Without having any knowledge whatsoever of it. Probably tier 5, yeah. Because you're exactly. I mean, a lot of people don't have tier 7, so I think they'd probably want to make it more inclusive. What am I trying to play? Oh, Mogami. We'll do one more Mogami, and then I'll take a couple of requests here. Start the clock, how'd I do? You could use your Iowa and Vanguard and Fletcher. Yeah, I mean, I think how it works is they pick a tier, and then you have to play a ship from that tier. And then, if you like win 2 or 3 games, then you move up a rank. And then the higher up, you get better prizes as you go on. So it's ideally, it's going to be really strategic. I think how that works on PC, they have smaller teams. Might be like 5 versus 5. 6 versus 6, something like that. But we'll see how it works. I mean, it could be kind of frustrating since there's a lot of new players in this game. But as you say, as you go up ranks, and you're probably going to have better teammates. So we'll definitely check it out when it comes out. Only missing about 8 ships. Now's the time you want to be grinding them before. It's kind of the nice part about having these little lulls in between the lines and being introduced. You kind of have time. Oops, sorry, buddy.
All forces, capture that area.
Just do not want to be broadside of these guys when they appear. This guy's sitting still.
Roger.
What's this? Mogami there.
Much obliged, Commander.
Oh. The problem with getting rammed / ramming that guy is it really slowed me down. Just kind of limits my dodge ability. And I was moving forward, guys. I'm going to record this. It's not something you see every day. There's the Mogami. We're going to switch to AP in this guy. This guy, if someone shoots him in the side, will demonstrate that citadel. Especially if he beaches himself. This guy's in serious trouble. Oh, I shot too low. I could potentially kill him. We'll see how the dispersion does. Yeah, alright, we got a couple, 3 citadels. I mean, this is the problem with the ship. You cannot get shot in the sides. You will die very, very quickly. So, I mean, that guy just absolutely got wrecked. We are spotted. Trying to figure out what's detecting me. Looks like our team got melted around B. God damn it, I just got smoked. Safely angle your ship before checking the map. I don't know if that was a blind shot or not. I thought I was undetected. But nobody on my team is pressuring whatsoever, which is a problem. We're already down 120 points, despite only being down 1 ship. So, I mean, this is one of those games where this guy's backing up. Surprise, surprise. People always say I was only back up because of the close spawns. No, they back up all the time because they're turning into one giant meme. I'm mostly joking around about the Ios. I mean, if that's what you want to do, go for it. You'd rather play safe than sorry and stay alive. I get it. This is where Makawa's perk, where it tells you how many times they're getting targeted, is quite useful. Situations where I'm detected by some destroyer that I don't even know where he is. Possibly right there.
Concentrate fire on the designated target.
Wouldn't surprise me if he's sitting on that cap. This guy can't turn away. I mean, I kind of need to get on A. This whole refusing to cap thing has become a major problem.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
Got 3 defense flags.
Much obliged.
God damn it. Yeah, I don't think he likes the cut of my jib. Fortunately now I almost can't turn around. Wow, that was lucky. So I need to do this relatively quickly here. God damn it. Yeah, that's the downside of this ship, is you really can't get shot in it. That's too bad. These games where the team just doesn't care about winning are quite frustrating to me. We get blowed. Mogami has a child's school uniform for armor. Yeah, it's pretty similar. Alright, what do you guys want to see for requests? Will you go see the new Terminator film? I didn't even know there was one, but personally, I probably won't. Glad you stopped at the Aoba. I mean, the Mogami is probably my favorite cruiser in the game. Myoka's extremely good. I don't think I played any glorious games that I'm on this stream, but you definitely can. You want to try the Nuremberg? I owned your Vanguard. Yeah, it happens. Let's try it out, see how it goes. That's why tier 7 games are rubbish. Nobody wants to do anything. Yeah. They can be good. If people are just going to sit there not doing anything the entire game, though, then it's just, like you say, kind of a waste of time. Fletcher's fun. Yeah, I keep looking at the polls. Nobody ever votes for the USN destroyers. Let's see what the final tally was. We got 5% voting for the USN destroyers. Destroyers are always last place, but we're running out of non-destroyer tech trees. I want to do them all at least once. I don't know why nobody wants to watch destroyers. Alright, Nuremberg. What do we got? Tier 4 match. New Mexico, you gotta be afraid of. Konigsberg can deal some damage. This is another ship you just can't get shot in the side. This is a tier 5 light cruiser. Pensacola and Aoba are both heavy cruisers. I think the French are going to be light through tier 5 as well, based on my early research. Eat up all the enemy DDs. Yeah, this ship, if you get in a position, that's a very high damage per minute output ship. The gun angles are improved. They're still a little steep. Looks like that's about the best angle you can get, which is challenging, but if you play it properly, you just kind of play this as a kiting ship. This guy... I need to start turning, but I do want to get a shot off. Yowza! That didn't do anything.
The ship is on fire.
Should not have damage count that, that was a mistake.
Fighter airborne. Problem solved, sir.
Torps, I think, are 6 kilometers, but off the top of my head for sure. Whoa. Get that guy with AP potentially. There's a lot of torps all of a sudden. Holy shit.
Main turret critically damaged. The ship is on fire. Critical engine damage. Torpedoes astern.
That's why you don't want to damage count a single player. And they hit us so hard that the sound got bugged. It sounds like I'm going through a black hole. I asked Tactic Ange about this the other day when we streamed. He thought the sound corrects itself when the game's over. If I have to shut the game off to fix it though, then that'll shut the stream off just because of the... because I'm streaming out of the PSN or the PlayStation. So that'd be too bad. This thing is giving me the heebie-jeebies. It's even crazier if you have the headphones on. Normally I play it through my TV sound, and it's weird enough as is. Open team menu, then R trigger. What's the team menu? Okay. It still didn't fix it. That sounds better. Yeah, that worked. Okay. Phew! I thought I was in, like... some intergalactic portal or something. Interesting. Well, that fixed the problem, so thanks. If that happens to you guys, you can just go into this menu and then is that voice channel disabled on the bottom there. Alright, let's open up on this little boy. He's turning to shoot me. I'm going to commence turning. I should have already been turning away. This could be costly. Shooting HE. It's kind of a... Not that this ship can take punishment from HE rounds, but it's kind of a breath of fresh air when you see Battleship shooting HE. I mean, if you hit my Citadel, this guy can easily finish me off with one shot, so... It's just the incorrect shell for him to be using. Let's see if we can get this guy. Now your AP on these German cruisers is more effective closer range, but I think at longer range you can still do some decent damage. That's not going to do anything if it hits, just because they have to be broadside for these shells to land. I don't even think that angle I could hit this guy. I'll try it out though. Ah, let's see that. I'm hoping this guy moves forward, but he's backing up, it looks like. Oh. Alright, he's turned around, he's coming around broadside. We're gonna get the AP loaded and just put him away, hopefully, in one shot. Boom!
Enemy cruiser destroyed. Enemy destroyer detected.
Kind of in a risky spot right here where there's a lot of people that could shoot me. So in between shots, it's good to like just kind of look around. Get out of that zoomed in mode. This guy I need to kill if I can. Sonar up, expecting torps. This guy needs to do something besides just sitting there. That's not gonna work. Ooh, there he goes. He did get away. Why am I not turning? Just doing that damage. Obviously he's a one shot now and he needs to play a lot more carefully. So both of those are major pluses. Our team needs to capture B. Hopefully that dude stays on that. Nuremberg's going to challenge him. This guy looks like he's just trying to force his way through. Instead of backing up. Sometimes if you're barely stuck on the islands, you can force your way through like he's doing. But I need to go back towards B and support that guy. We need to flip a cap here. We're going to lose on score. And the other thing about the Nuremberg is you do have 360-degree turrets in the rear, so that makes changing your sides a lot more efficient. Yeah, we did get B. We kind of got them on their back foot a little bit. That destroyer is still alive, and he is spotting me right now. I need to keep that in mind. guy could potentially shoot AP into, but I'm gonna get HE loaded. Probably backs up or is gonna bomb on him. Should get him backing up. This guy refuses to move, alright. I really don't know what he's... Maybe he put his control down or something.
Torpedoes astern.
Shit.
Torpedoes astern.
Let's try the AP out. I was kind of curious at this range. I mean, by the book, you need to be shooting AP whenever you got broadside shots like this. Yeah, there we got about 3K, which isn't bad for a ship pumping out shots every 5 seconds or whatever it is. So we can actually just melt this guy in no time. I don't know what he's doing, but it's not my business, nor my problem.
Enemy battleship foundered.
Can't tell if the stream froze or my internet's acting wonky, but huh, interesting. I mean, 87K, that's not too bad for a little light cruiser. Obviously, we got pretty good scores. I don't know what's going on with my internet, though. My stream looks like it froze. Baltimore next. Yeah, let me see if I can get this fixed. I can see you guys that on-air thing on the screens suggesting you're still watching, but for some reason the thing I'm looking at isn't working. Russian DDs will be fun. Yeah, Russian DDs, from the little bit I know about them, seems like they're going to be like mini cruisers. CCs are going to be as delicate as the Danae. Well, the British cruisers, if that's what you're asking about, they're kind of light. They're delicate, which is why Wargaming doesn't want to put them out right when the game released, because people are going to get wrecked in them. But they're, from what I've seen, they're like cruisers that have smokes, which are extremely powerful. So I don't know what's going on my end. For some reason, my internet's frozen, but we'll play one more. If you guys can see it, cool. If not, then I'll just play the game and talk to myself. But the only request I can see is Baltimore. My internet froze. Or specifically the YouTube website froze, it looks like. Let me see if a different website works. Yeah, I'll fire it up. So, yeah, I don't know. It's weird, like my internet's working well enough for the game to work, but maybe my computer needs to be rebooted or something. Alright, we'll do one more and then I'll probably call it there. I'd have to get ready for work here in a minute. Yeah, I apologize about the technicals. I'm not able to see what anyone's saying. Let me just try this. Yeah, I think my computer just needs to be rebooted. Oh, now it's working. Yeah, for some reason that browser session was screwed up. Alright, now it seems to be working a little bit better. Baltimore, what do we want to do here? Russians have hacked it. All good here on Viewer's Point. Alright. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason I just closed the browser and then now it's working again, so. Works overrated. Kind of. Getting money isn't, though. Both the HE and AP shells are really nice in this set. This is unfortunate. I guess I'm kind of responsible for spotting for these guys. But by the time I'm going to get over here to spot this side, these guys are going to leave it anyways. If I had a plane right now, I'd launch it to see what's over this island. Ideally, you want a destroyer to move over right about here, and then you can just shoot over this island. This guy's not looking there. This guy is, but he's turning his attention quickly. So, I do want to get over here, though. I don't want to concede this side too readily, even though me defending this by myself, we have no idea what's over here. How far is this? This is 8, 9. Yeah. This is turning into a problem. I'm going to radar this destroyer that's over here. That's too bad. So, I mean, you could say, like, that radar was kind of wasted, but it kind of wasn't at the same time. Indy, I'm going to try and punch through him. Oh, shit, this guy's turning back in. Yeah, we're going to get sunk right here. I think I could punch through this guy's armor with the AP.
Torpedoes, astern.
We'll try it out. Yeah, about 3k, that's not horrible. Do need to avoid these torps.
Torpedoes, astern.
A lot of time, if you got torps moving by you and you know they're clear, just slow down and let them go. You don't want to keep going at that same speed because then you can't turn out of it. It's like having two islands like right on both sides of you. You're just stuck going the same way. So if you do need to turn, you're unable to. This guy's about to turn. We're going to let him.
All stations, requesting fire on the designated target.
It was a mistake there, my boy. They got a Baltimore. I mean, kiting in the Baltimore is not my ideal situation with the ship, but sometimes you have to do it. That's just because I have this thing set up for propulsion mod, because a lot of times you're utilizing islands and you need to start and stop quickly. And if you don't have rudder shift, trying to kite and dodge shots can become tricky. So here's kind of the opposite of the last game we played on Fault Line where... Well, it's the same. Yeah, the north side's grouping up on this right-hand side again. But it looks like both teams are actually clumping up here.
Torpedoes to starboard.
We did have torps coming this way. But you need to take a note of that. There might be a destroyer by the base. Shit. Wish I had AP loaded for him. I kind of want... I'm not abandoning this team. I'm just suspicious that there's a destroyer here about to cab, and I don't want that to happen. There's one destroyer accounted for on the map, the grayed out guy, and there was torps coming from here, I believe, and there's no ship that should have been able to do that. And of course I'm spotted. There's nothing in my detection radius in the map, so there's a destroyer over here somewhere. I'm gonna put the sonar on just to make sure I don't get torped. And moving over here, I am also creating crossfires, which is beneficial. Actually, oh shit, as soon as I switch to AP, there he is. I was going to switch to AP and just start bombing on this guy. Because we can actually potentially even citadel this Iowa at this distance. This guy beached himself. Trust me, I want to kill that Z-23. That's probably the right play, but if I can get these shots in this guy. Alright. Yeah, not a lot there. Got 3K. There's the Baltimore. We need to kill him. Damn it. That's the end of this run. Oof. Black holes, tier 7 sort of thing. Yeah, they sure are. So that was a little too bad. I think I played a little too aggressively there. That destroyer was not where I thought he was at all. I thought he was right over here. I just got a glimpse of these torps. Maybe he did send them in from over here. Yeah, we got wrecked. So, alright, I think that's going to have to do it for me. I do have some stuff I got to take care of. Thanks everyone for hanging out, though. I appreciate it very much. Michael, thanks again for becoming a member today. Stylo, I got to get going. I might, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Bodie, Gravity Hamsters, Stylo, thanks for playing as usual. Battlestar, good to see ya. Justin Savage. And Jason Ways, Jim O'Toole's been around the entire time. Jay the Cat, of course. And many more. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see y'all later. Alright, peace.